listening to
Catholic Sprouts,
the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith.
Greetings, young Squire Sprouts. Today is the 24th day in the 5th month in the year of our Lord 2025. My name is Sir Rolland and you're listening to Saturdays with Sir Rolland on Catholic Sprouts, where every Saturday we discuss the art of dragon slaying. This month we've been doing a series called Dragons Around the House. I hope you found them entertaining, but more importantly, I hope you found them useful in your quest to be a dragon slayer. I have one last Dragons Around the House episode for you before Catholic Sprouts goes on summer break. But stick around to the end because I have an important announcement on how you can continue your training this summer. This episode of Dragons Around the House is titled The Bad Day. One cold winter school day morning in the dead of winter, your alarm goes off. It's still dark outside and a sinister voice immediately pops in your head. Shut it off! Get back in bed! You groggily obey the command of the yellow dragon of sloth and ignore the big sign on your alarm clock that says, Become a saint. You tell yourself, I'll just lay her for 5 minutes as you crawl back under the covers. After what seems like 20 seconds, and before you can even close your eyes, you hear your mom yell from the bottom of the stairs, We're leaving in 15 minutes. Panic and confusion grips you as you painfully sit up and look at the clock. You overslept by 45 minutes. No time for prayer, declares the voice of the yellow dragon in your head. And no time to brush your teeth or comb your hair, whispers the violet dragon of lust. You throw on some dirty, wrinkled clothes you find on the floor and dash down the stairs, taking 3 steps at a time. You slam open the door to the kitchen in your fury and hear a big thud followed by an ow. You realize the door just smacked your unsuspecting little brother in the forehead. The blue dragon screams in your head, Tell him to watch out where he's going, we're late. Move, you yell at your little brother, who's whimpering in pain as he goes to find your mom. Tattletale, the blue dragon says in your head. You scan now the empty kitchen, and on the counter next to the giving box is a huge box of Lucky Charms with a big note on the front that reads, Don't eat. These are for the downtown orphanage's St. Patrick's Day party. The green dragon of greed burst its way into the kitchen. We're late. You have no choice. Just grab them. Those orphans are spoiled and get stuff all the time. Take what you can get. It's all yours, bellows the greedy voice. You toss the note behind the fridge and pretend you didn't see it. Then you go to get a bowl, and to your horror, you realize you forgot to start the dishwasher after dinner last night. I have an idea, says the voice of the indigo dragon of gluttony. You go to the cupboard and find a giant mixing bowl. No, make that 2 mixing bowls. You go to open the box of cereal, not realizing the box is upside down. Then you try to open the bag, but it won't budge. You pull harder, and it rips. Whoever makes these bags is just trying to get you in trouble, says the voice of the blue dragon as the cereal flies everywhere. Then you pour what's left in the bag into the one big, huge mixing bowl, and under the beckoning voice of the indigo dragon of gluttony, you begin to sort out the marshmallows into the other bowl. You pour most of what's left of the milk into the marshmallows and leave the final drop of milk in the carton and put it back in the fridge. We don't have time to rinse that out, says the yellow dragon. You devour the marshmallows in record time under the guidance of the indigo dragon, and then not so neatly dump the boring part of the cereal back into the ripped apart bag, which means that it mostly just goes into the box outside the bag. Then you not so neatly close the box and place it upside down back on the counter, hoping your mom doesn't notice as she scurries to get everyone in the car. You quickly sweep the spilled cereal under the rug in the kitchen. When you get to school, things don't get any better. Because you woke up late, your appearance is atrocious, and you have the breath of a rhino. By second period, you realize all your friends are avoiding you. Then your teacher hands back your spelling test. How did you do? Whispers your friend Misewell, who's sitting next to you. I aced it, you say, too ashamed to tell him that you got your worst score ever. The red dragon pats you on the back. Lying is a great way to save your pride, he says in a sinister voice. Me too, says Misewell as he holds up his paper with a big 100% at the top. Teacher's pet, you hear the voice of the orange dragon of envy in your head. I hope he fails the next test, you mumble not so quietly under your breath. What was that? Asked Misewell. I said, that's awesome, you're the best. You lie for the second time in 40 seconds. After a long day at school where nothing goes right, you walk in the door and are greeted by your mom with an angry look on her face, a mutilated box of Lucky Charms in her hand, and smashed pieces of cereal under her feet. Go straight to your room and think about what you've done, she says. You go to your room and sit on your bed. You think about your day and everything that went wrong and the ripple effect of all the bad decisions that you made under the influence of the 7 deadly dragons. What should you do? Here's your choices. A, fall into despair and desolation and declare, I guess I just don't have what it takes to slay dragons. I give up. B, think of as many excuses for your behavior as you can and develop a victim mentality. It's not fair. My alarm clock is annoying. Or, I'm not smart enough. Or, I don't have as fancy clothes as my friends. Or, I don't like how the mouthwash burns my mouth. Or, I have a real sweet tooth and my mom always gives all of our good food away. Or, I'm too young. Or, I'm the middle child and never get what I want. Or, I'm too short. Or, my brain isn't fully developed yet. And on and on. Choice C. You blame everyone else. My parents should have gotten me out of bed on time, or God made me this week, or my brother kept me up too late, or Misewell probably cheated to make me feel bad, or the cereal was sitting right out in the open, very misleading. Or option D. You pull out your Dragon Slayer's examination of conscience and go through the questions for each of the 7 deadly dragons, carefully reflecting on each of your dragon wounds that day, and come up with a game plan to avoid those same near occasions of sin in the future, starting with getting up on time so you can spend time in prayer. You get on your knees and you pray for God's mercy and forgiveness, having full confidence that God always forgives and has the cure to every dragon wound. You ask God to give you strength and courage and grace to live to fight another day. You make a commitment to strive for greatness, train even harder in the weapons of virtue, and believe in the power of God to use ordinary you to accomplish extraordinary things. Then you apologize to your mom and your brother and your friends. And then you subscribe to Saturdays with Sir Rolland podcast so that we can train together. Which option did you choose? D or D? Correct! I knew you would, because you are Catholic Sprouts listeners. And if you chose option D and you want to keep training and slaying dragons this summer, and you want to join me in striving to be holy families and great saints by the grace of God, then here is my challenge for you. I want you to subscribe to Saturdays with Sir Rolland podcast right now and listen to our introduction episode. Remember, Catholic Sprouts is taking a break this summer, so my upcoming episodes will be on this new platform. Don't miss all the training I have for you this summer. And let's all offer a prayer of thanksgiving for Nancy, the Catholic Sprouts lady who has taught us so much over the years, and to her family who's been so generous. May they have a well-deserved break and peaceful summertime together. And we also pray for everyone going with them on the pilgrimage to Rome. May it be a life-changing experience for all of you. And until next week, on the new podcast, Saturdays with Sir Rolland, that you just subscribed to, I'll leave you under the protection of St. Michael the Great Archangel, St. Joseph the Terror of Dragons, and Mary, Queen of the Angels, Our Lady of Grace, and the woman whose seed crushed the head of the dragon.
That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God created you to be.
Hey, parents and kids, our resource of the week for the Dragon Sage Training Guild is our introductory episode of the new and improved Saturdays with Sir Rolland podcast produced by Topher68. If you're not in our training guild, please register for free at extraordinarymission.com/dragonslayers. And remember, listen to Saturdays with Sir Rolland every Saturday by subscribing to the podcast Saturdays with Sir Rolland wherever you listen to podcasts.
This podcast is part of the Spoke Street Network. For more great podcasts, visit spokestreet.com.